Good morning, or actually afternoon because it is Saturday, just about noon right now. I'm getting ready because I think we're gonna go out to this thing called the Macabre Market later. I don't know that much about it, but we want to get out of the house. I'm also in a turtleneck because it's freezing outside, but our heat works really well, so it's really, really hot inside. But I'm also out of breath because I was just going up and down the stairs trying to find my book, but I found it. Right now, I'm going to be introducing a vlog that I'm doing where I'm going to read all of the Bromance Book Club series. I have 3 of the other books over there, and then the last one is on hold for my library. There are 5 books in the series, I believe. And the most recent one came out this month. So I want to read them all in one go just to get them out of the way. I've heard really good things about this. I've been in the mood for romance, so I'm hoping I really enjoy this. I actually have started this. I started this morning. I'm only like 3 or 4 chapters in. At this point, we're just getting the basic setup. So the premise of this book is this guy, whose name I'm not going to remember now, Gavin. Gavin and his wife, Thea, are on the rocks. They essentially got pregnant when they first started dating, and so they got married, and then now it's been a couple years since then, so they have twin girls who are 3, and Gavin just found out like a month ago that his wife has always been faking her orgasms, and I'm trying to figure out how that could lead to a divorce currently, but essentially I think what happened is she told him that, and then he got mad and moved into their guest room and gave her the silent treatment for a month, and so she asked him to move out and said she wants a divorce. And now he's trying to get back with his wife because I think he's going to realize that he screwed up, because what a screwy way to handle that situation, but I don't know. But his friends he plays professional baseball, and some of his friends on this baseball team have a book club that is the Bromance Book Club, where they read romance books to try to fix their relationships, I think. I have not gotten to that part of this book yet, but that's on the back. So I'm really excited for this because I'm wanting to read and figure out more tropes in romance that I like, because I know I like fake dating. I know I like forced proximity. What are other things? I'm sure I would like marriage of convenience. I haven't read any of those yet, but that seems similar to fake dating. And yeah, stuff like that I really enjoy. But I want to figure out if I can like a second chance romance that's like this, where it's somebody who's already in an established relationship, figuring things out. Also, you may notice I'm wearing contacts for the first time in months because I just got my contacts in. Yay, I'm very excited about that. I'm trying to get all of these books read before Thanksgiving break so this can go up over Thanksgiving, so I don't have to film while I'm at my in-laws or have videos ready to go. I can just have this vlog to edit and then send up. So that's that. So I will let you know if I have any other updates as they happen, and hopefully I will let you know. I will try to finish this today. That's my goal. It shouldn't take too long. I only read for 20 minutes this morning, and I got to page, maybe less than that then, because I got to page 30, so it shouldn't take too long to read. And I'm hopeful I can finish this so that I can finish the second one maybe tomorrow or Monday, and then I'm going to try to find audiobooks, because I'm listening to an audiobook right now, and that will help me read it faster, I think. So that's my plan, but I will let you know as I have updates. Okay, friends, I'm almost halfway through the Bromance Book Club, and I'm liking it a lot. It's making me really more emotional than I expected to, which I think is a good thing, and I think that makes sense because obviously these people are married already, they have kids already, they've got this established life already, so it's very high stakes in that sense. But I'm really having a hard time with their conflict because it doesn't seem believable to me, and I don't know why that is. So if you've read this, let me know if you thought the conflict was believable or how you felt about it, because again, the setup is that the wife was always faking her orgasms. The husband found out. He gave her the cold shoulder for a month, and she told him to move out, and he did, and now she's mad that he moved out. And so I think she's mad at the way he was handling it, and she didn't want to be treated like that, and they're trying to make it seem because of her childhood, her dad cheated on her mom and then cheated on all of his other spouses, so he's been married 4 or 5 times, and her mom was like a narcissist and couldn't take care of her, so her and her sister ended up going to live with her grandmother, and that's a big part of it. Like, she doesn't really trust people. But my issue is, she asked him to leave, but she keeps saying that he left her, and that's why it's too late to repair their marriage, because he should never have left her. But why did she ask him to leave? And at one point, one of his like friends is like, it was probably a test. That's a dumb bullshit test. So I am not loving that. And it's making me have a really hard time like relating to Thea, whatever her name is. And I feel like obviously I want them to work it out because they've got kids and I think they really do love each other and this is just a miscommunication, but I cannot believe the lengths to which they are going to try to misunderstand each other. Specifically the lengths she is going to misunderstand him. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know. There's a lot of reasons I feel like I'm not super connecting to this book as much as I wanted to. But that's a big part of it, I think, for me. So I am going to continue reading it. I am enjoying it. Again, I'm not having a bad time at all. I'm just frustrated by Thea, and I think I'm supposed to be on her side, and I'm not. I don't get her side. It doesn't make sense to me. So again, let me know if you've read this, if that's how you felt as well. But I think we might go out to dinner tonight. I don't know. We mentioned it. But other than that, I will let you know when I have another update. Hello, it's now Tuesday, and I am coming here to update this vlog because I finished the first book. It sounds serious. I should have gone and got it, but I didn't. The Bromance Book Club. I finished it last night, and I gave this book 5 stars on Goodreads. I think realistically it's more of a 4.5 star for me because there were parts of it that I didn't love as much. Like I've already mentioned, I had a really hard time wrapping my head around the concept of breaking up a marriage over what they claimed their marriage was breaking up over. Because to me, it seemed like something that 2 adults who have said they want to spend the rest of their lives together should be able to try to work through, or should at least want to try to work through. And it sounded like both of them were just sort of like, nah, no thanks. Which was weird to me. Like, I don't know. I guess as a person who's not married, it was weird that that would be the thing that would break up a relationship, especially like they had kids. I didn't understand it. But it sort of tried to explain itself more as we got more backstory on both of their like childhoods. And I thought that was a really good way to bring that into the conversation because it explained a lot. So, and that is an important thing to know about your partner, so I also liked it for that reason. I have since started Undercover Bromance Book 2, and I'm already loving this a lot more. So this is a romance between one of the guys in the book club, Braden, and I think he goes by Mac. His name is Braden Mac, but... and the sister of the girl in the first book. And what's really cute about that is in the first book, the sister, Liv, is living with God, I'm not going to remember their names. That's so annoying. Thea and I can't remember the guy's name. Doesn't matter, I guess. But when Thea and her husband were going through their, like, breakup, or when she'd kicked him out of the house and claimed that he left her, but she kicked him out, which drives me crazy, but that's fine. When that was happening, Liv was living with them to take care of the little girls, and it seemed like she kind of did that during baseball season anyways, because he was a Major League Baseball player, so he had to travel when it was baseball season. And so, at one point, the husband in that book invites over all the guys in the Bromance Book Club, and so Braden Mac is there, and Braden Mac's thing is that he's, Mac, I guess I should just call him Mac, I don't know why I'm insisting on using his first name. Mac's thing is that he is like a flirt and a womanizer, and he's the only guy in the book club who doesn't have a girlfriend or wife, I'm pretty sure, is what it says, and he eats Liv's Chinese food when he's at their house, and so Liv hates him. That's like the premise, is that Liv is already like annoyed by him, thinks he's everything that she doesn't like about men, and this is their love story, so it's a little bit of a hate to love, but the premise, I believe, is at the beginning of this book, Mac is on a date with this woman who he's been dating for 3 months, and he wants to become exclusive, and he's gonna ask her, so he takes her to this really fancy Nashville restaurant, which is where Liv works as a pastry chef, and he orders this $1,000 cupcake, and when he sees Liv, he recognizes her, and him recognizing her and trying to talk to her throws her off, and she accidentally drops the cupcake in his date's lap, and his date doesn't care about it, but she just knows that Mac isn't the right guy for her because she can't believe that anyone would spend $1,000 on a cupcake, and she basically just thinks he's ridiculous and can't take him seriously. So they break up, and then Liv gets fired because not only does this incident happen to make her boss really, really mad at her, he's like a celebrity chef, and when she's supposed to go meet up in his office to discuss what she did wrong that night, she overhears him sexually harassing and attempting to assault one of her coworkers. And so she jumps in, tries to get in the middle of it, and the coworker's like, listen, I really need this job. Nothing was happening. And so Liv gets fired. Mac offers her a job at his nightclub because that's his thing. He owns like nightclubs and stuff. I assume as a chef. I assume he's like branching out into food. I don't know. But he offers her a job. She turns him down and then tells him what happened with the coworker, and now he's involved in that with her. And it says that they're going to be reading a romantic suspense, like the book club is in this one, and that's what's going to inspire the book. Like the last one, they read a Regency, which I believe actually Liz K. Adams is writing the Regency that they read in the first book, which I think is really fun. But they read a Regency romance, and that's it called Courting the Countess. And this one is The Protector, maybe? I don't know. It just has the book cover on the front right here. But I'm really enjoying this so far. I flew through the first like 100 pages yesterday. What page am I on? I'm on chapter 8, page 92. Not quite 100 pages. But still, I started this last night after my fiance and I watched the movie Barbarian, which if you haven't seen that movie yet, you should watch it. If you like horror films or thrillers. Yeah, I don't know how I wasn't spoiled for anything that happened in that movie, and so I'm not going to say anything else about it here. If you know, you know. But I thought it was so good. I also really, I was like looking through a couple of reviews because I couldn't tell like how I felt about the way certain things were handled. So I was reading reviews, and one review was like, I don't know if this movie was just overhyped for me, but it didn't seem that wild. Like nothing in it seemed that wild or surprising. And I just gotta say, I don't know what else they've seen, because they've seen some shit, if that's how they felt about this movie. But, yeah, that's my recommendation right now, my movie recommendation. It's a great movie. We watched House of Gucci on Friday. This has become a movie reviews with Mary. We watched House of Gucci on Friday. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, that movie should have been an hour shorter. It was so boring. And if you don't know what that's like Adam Driver, Jared Leto, and Lady Gaga are in that movie, and it's about this orchestrated murder of Gucci, like one of the Gucci's. I'm not going to spoil it. I'm a firm believer that there are no spoilers in true crime, but I didn't know what was going to happen in that movie because I'm not familiar with that case. And I waited long enough between the movie coming out and hearing about it for the first time and watching it to not remember anything that was going to happen. So I don't know. I feel like it should have been an hour shorter, and like the fat should have been trimmed to keep the pacing up, and it would have been a more enjoyable film. I feel like they tried for some artistic angles with certain shots. They added in like all of the sex scenes that were in that movie could have been cut, and they weren't like short sex scenes either. Like I feel like they could have cut all of the sex scenes because they weren't necessary. Like you could have implied that. It's not like it was a romance or it was like tension building or they were having any dialogue during those. I feel like that with a lot of sex scenes in movies, honestly, because I just feel like a lot of times they're included in films that don't need to have them, and we could imply everything that we needed to, and the movie would have been shorter and snappier. That was my qualm with House of Gucci. I did have qualms with Barbarian too, but I'm not going to tell you anything about what it's about because I don't want to ruin it. But, you know, I'm big on snappy films. I want it to be like concise and snappy to the point, and also I want everything in it to be necessary. I'm not like that with books necessarily, but I kind of am. But like, I feel like that's how I edit anything that I write for work. So I'm like, is that necessary to be in there though? If it's not necessary, we're going to cut it. So, that's it for this date. I will let you know once I've finished this, which hopefully I'm doing reading sprints tonight. I'm going to read this during sprints. So my hope is that I can finish this tonight and start on book 3 tomorrow or even tonight as well. These, again, do not take very long to read. I probably can read 100 pages in like 35, 40 minutes or 45 minutes. So I'm thinking I can finish this in 2 sprints tonight because it's only like 330 pages, maybe 3 sprints. And then I'll start the third one during the third sprint. So if you missed it, I do sprints on Tuesdays on my channel, so be sure to check those out if you're interested. But I'm gonna go. I'll talk to you soon. Good morning. It's Sunday. I can grab it. Still reading Crazy Stupid Bromance. I don't know if I've updated since I started this one. I don't think I have, but I am 216 pages in, which means I'm like 2/3 of the way done. Maybe even more, honestly. I think it's only like 300 and something pages, but I'm enjoying this one a lot. I have gripes, I think, with all of these books, and one of them in this one, okay. So this is about Noah, who is the tech guy. He helps solve... Did I even talk about the second one when I finished it? I don't know that I did. I think I did, but I don't know that I did. But I gave that one 4 stars. And I really liked the couple in that one. I really like Liv as a character. She's Thea from the first book's sister. And it's her romance with Mac, who is a club owner in the founder of the Bromance book club. So that was really cute. But the main plot of that one is about Thea's boss, who is this like restaurateur, mogul, famous chef guy, and Thea finds out that he has been assaulting and like sexually harassing and abusing some of his employees. And so that book is about Thea trying to take him down. And so they employ the use of Noah, who's the main character in this one, and his like tech skills to do that. And that plot point for me just didn't really like hit the way I wanted it to, if that makes sense. Like I didn't think it was... I got sort of lost in the details, and I feel like the romance sort of suffered for the other like parts of the plot. That being said, I still really enjoyed that book, and I still really enjoyed that couple, and them like coming to terms with each other. This one, the book club is playing a bigger part again. It's Noah, who is the tech guy, who was not previously in the book club, but he joins the book club because he's had this long-standing friendship with a coworker of Liv's, a coworker of Liv's, who is Alexis, and she owns a cat cafe called Toe Beans. And I don't really want to spoil the other book, but it does spoil it in the synopsis. But she was sort of involved in the whole thing with the chef guy, and she helped Liv eventually take him down. And that was like a year and a half ago at this point, and or over a year ago, I don't know exactly how long, but Noah and her, Alexis, have become really good friends. Sorry, my brain is like not fully functioning yet this morning, but Noah and Alexis have been really good friends, so this is like a friends to lovers. So each of them follow different tropes. The first one is second chance romance. The second one is enemies to lovers, because Liv and Mac originally don't like each other at all, and they've got all these like misconceptions about each other. Mostly Liv has misconceptions about Mac, and then they end up working it out. And then this one is friends to lovers, and I'm actually liking the way that the friends to lovers is being written the best out of all of these, personally. And what I enjoy about this that I didn't really get as much in the first book in this series is you actually get to see their relationship before he's like trying to become romantic with her. Like, I wish in the first one that we had seen the fallout of Thea and Gavin's marriage, and seen the like fight that happened, because we open up with Gavin joining the book club because he wants to get his wife back, and then we get flashbacks sort of what happened over their marriage. But oops. This one I'm really enjoying. I'm really rooting for the characters. I'm never not rooting for characters in these romances, and I care about all of the characters. Like, I feel like the characters are really, really well done. But this one is about him and Alexis trying to like make their relationship work. And there's other stuff going on in their lives, but I am enjoying this one. And also this one gives us more snippets of the book that they're reading again. So in this one, he's reading a second chance romance, actually, It's a sports romance about a quarterback who goes back to his like hometown and finds out that he has a kid there with his like high school girlfriend that he hasn't seen in 18 years. And so it's sort of about him groveling. The book in the first one that they're reading plays the biggest role in the books, and they're actually, Alyssa K. Adams is writing a Regency romance called Courting the Countess, which is the first book that they read in the Bromance Book Club. But I am enjoying this one. I'm curious to see what's going to happen in the end of it, because I don't think that there's going to be a third act breakup. Now that they've like gotten together, I can't see that happening. Whereas Mac and Liv kind of did have a breakup. I guess they sort of already did have that. They had some like conflict in their relationship where they were like weren't communicating how they were feeling with each other, and the guys made fun of it and how that's like the worst part of a romance, when the characters won't like have an adult conversation and they just miscommunicate instead, which I enjoyed. But I'm liking this one, so I'm gonna hopefully finish this today, and then I can start Isn't It Romantic, which is the Russians romance with his wife, and I'm curious to see how that one's gonna go as well, because his wife has not been a character so far, and they like poke fun about that in this book, like saying that maybe his wife is made up and he doesn't have one. I don't know. And then my hold for A Very Very Bromance just came in, so I gotta go to the library and get that. But I just wanted to update you. That's where I'm at, and I will let you know when I finish this one. I think it'll probably be another 4-star. They've all kind of been 4 stars. So I'm going to lower my first rating to 4 stars instead of 5. It did make me like sob at certain parts, but I also think that was like, I might leave it because it made me cry. But this one also has made me tear up. So I don't know. They're like pretty emotional, and I think I'm just like an emotional point of my life right now. The other thing I wanted to show you, we got our save the dates in, so I'm going to show them to you really quick. I'm going to show these to you because I don't think they give away like too much personal information, because there's not even like an address of where we're getting married. It's just the town. But this is our save the date. Isn't that so cute? And then we went with it's a date instead of save the date. And oh, I don't want to show you the QR code. But yeah, I'm really excited about that. So we stuffed envelopes and addressed a bunch of stuff last night, but we have some addresses we still have to grab. So that's what we're working on right now. And then we ordered return address labels to put on these and the invitations, and those haven't come in yet. So once those come in, we'll have to go buy stamps. And then once we've got all of that, we'll just send them out. And I'm really excited to finally get the ball rolling on this, because I think on my like wedding checklist that I had, our save the dates were supposed to be done in, gosh, like August or September. And so it's November. Hopefully we'll get these out by the end of November, and we're not sending out Christmas cards this year. We're just doing this. So that's the plan. But I'm gonna read, and I will let you know when I finish it. Hello. I'm sorry, I'm laying down in bed. It's now Tuesday, and I know I said that on Sunday I was gonna try to finish this book. Not only have I not finished it, I've only read another like 50 pages of it. So I'm still enjoying it, but I'm almost getting bored of it. And I think it's because the couple has already gotten together. And so now the conflict is about, like, I don't even know if I've mentioned this. Alexis, there's, like, a subplot with her finding out some, like, family stuff. And that's sort of what's taking the forefront. I don't want to spoil it because I don't think it's on the back. Oh, it is on the back. Okay, great. So apparently Alexis has, like, a long-lost sister and brother, actually. But her dad had other kids, and she never met her dad. And now he's got some health issues, and so they were trying to get her to like help with it. I don't really want to spoil anything about what's happening, but like I care about it, but also I don't, if that makes sense. And so I'm having a really hard time reading this. I really do think it's just because this is the third one of these that I've read back to back, and I am enjoying it, but I'm just sort of feeling like in a rut with it, I guess. So I am still planning on finishing the series. I need to pick up the last book today because my library hold came in and I don't want to lose it, so that this vlog can go up. But I think I'll like the 4th book because I'm interested in hearing the Russian story a lot. And this one I just need to power through and get done with the last like 100 pages, I think. I'm on 260 and there's 340, so 80 pages. And that should not be that big of a deal. I'm a little worried about editing this vlog because my editing software that I use is Clipchamp, which is free. It's a Microsoft thing because I have a Microsoft computer, and it's not working right now. So I had a video that was supposed to go up on Sunday, I still can't, it's Tuesday, I still can't get that video to export. I've restarted the app, uninstalled and reinstalled the app, tried to use it on the web browser version instead of the app version. I don't know what's wrong with it, but it's my virtual unhaul, so if that's up, you will have seen it, because I'm hoping I can get that video up Thursday so that this vlog can go up on Sunday, but if not, this vlog will go up on either Thursday or Sunday, depending on when I fit, probably Sunday, and this, I'll have another video go up on Thursday. I don't know what. I gotta look at what else I have. I can't remember where I was going with that, but I just wanted to update that this is what's up. And now I'm gonna video my dog for a second because he's so cute. Look at him. Murphy. Hey. What you doing? Hi. What you doing? Oh, my sweet baby. Okay, it's still Tuesday. Marble is sitting on my lap. Are you gonna look at the camera? No. I just finished Crazy Stupid Bromance, which is the third book in the Bromance Book Club series, and I think I'm gonna end up giving it 4 stars. I really enjoyed this book, and I was able to get back into it. I really do think I was just burnt out from reading so many of them in a row. So I'm gonna try to finish another book tonight, because I have a book that I have had from my library for weeks. It's an ebook, and it has to be returned soon. It's Doom Messiah, it's not a secret. But I really need to finish it, because I've had it almost 6 weeks, and it's not that long of a book, so I should just finish it or DNF it. I just need to decide. But tomorrow I'm probably going to pick up the 4th book in the series, and I still didn't go to the library today, so I need to do that tomorrow, because otherwise the library is going to be closed tomorrow at 5, and it won't open up till after Thanksgiving. And obviously we're going, I don't know if I mentioned this actually, we're going to Arkansas for Thanksgiving, to be with my fiance's family, so I need to do that before then. Ooh. And I don't know what else, but I'll let you know. Yeah, I gave it 4 stars, thought it was really cute, and I'm really excited for the 4th one, because it's about the Russian and his wife and their marital issues, and based on the epilogue of this one, I'm just very excited to read about it. It sounds really interesting and, like, unique, I guess. And so I'm a little hesitant about the subplot in that one, too, because I think they're both from Russia, and she's got some, like, family issues that come up, which seems to be a trend with all of these books. But, you know, I'm enjoying the series. It's not, like, an all-time favorite series the way that I, like, kind of hoped it would be, but I really am having a fun time reading them, and I'm really excited for the Christmas one as well. But we'll see. So I will let you know when I have another update. Ranger, what are you doing? What are you doing, sweet boy?
So sweet. I know. Oh my goodness.
Hello. It's Sunday. We got back from Arkansas today for Thanksgiving, and it was really fun. I didn't take many clips. I showed you Matt's parents got a puppy because they're the dog that Matt had, like, from high school, I think. Sorry, I just had to sit up. She, like, his childhood family dog died kind of recently, so his mom got a puppy. That's Ranger. That was the dog in the other clips. So we're all really sad about Finn, but it's nice that they have something else, because this doesn't matter, but Matt's dad travels a lot for work, so she's just been, and they don't have any kids living at home anymore because all of his siblings are grown up and moved out. So it's just been her at home by herself, and so she got a puppy, and I'm gonna cry for no reason. It doesn't matter. But we also, Matt's younger brother proposed to his girlfriend, and so we had, like, a little surprise engagement party for them, which was really cool and really sweet and fun to be a part of. So I'm really glad we got to do that and be there for that as well, which was really cool. But I wanted to let you know that I've started, and I've gotten about 150 pages into Isn't It Romantic, which is the 4th book in the Bromance Book Club series. And I thought I was going to read the series in, like, a week, and it's been, like, almost 3, I think, so it's taking me a really long time. But this one is about Vlad and Elena, who are Russian, and Vlad is the Russian in the series, and he's a professional hockey player, and Elena is his wife, and they have a marriage of convenience. So she, in Russia, their hometown, her mom died when she was little, and her dad was a journalist and went missing at some point, so she basically lived with Vlad and his family, and they were like childhood sweethearts kind of, but they were always friends. And when he got his hockey gig in the US, he asked her to marry him so she could leave Russia and go to the US. And so she's been in the US but living in Chicago. They live in Nashville. All the guys in the Bromance book club, like they're all set in Nashville. And so they haven't been living together, and they've been married like 6 years, and they've kissed once, and they've never done anything more than that. Unclear why, really, because it seems like they both have always had feelings for each other, so I don't really understand the hesitancy to like be actually married. But the premise is, at the beginning of this book, Vlad basically tells her, when you're done with your program, because she's almost done with school in Chicago, and he's like, when you're done with your program, I want you to move back to Nashville, and I want us to have a real marriage. And she tells him basically no, she wants to get divorced and go back to Russia and be a journalist like her dad was. And she's trying to finish the story that her dad was writing when he went missing. So I think that's going to be the drama, is there's probably something like really sketchy going on with either the Russian government or something like that. So it's kind of interesting. But at the beginning of this book, Vlad gets hurt playing hockey, and so he can't play anymore, and he breaks his leg. And so Elena decides to move back to Nashville and take care of him. And obviously his friends are trying to get their marriage to work out, because he's never confessed to them that he doesn't have a real marriage with her. So that's like the premise of this book. It is cute. It's kind of slow to start for me. I say that. I mean, it didn't take me that long to read where I'm at, but I'm not like as gripped as I had hoped to be. I think I said this in the last clip that I did, so I'm trying not to be too repetitive, but I just think that I'm reading these books back to back, and so they're so similar that it's like kind of losing my interest. I'm also, in like the meantime, like the interim, I've been reading and listening to audiobooks for books that are nominated for the Goodreads Choice Awards this year. So I've read a lot of new releases recently, because I basically looked through when the nominees were in. I looked through all the ones that I was interested in and put holds on them for my library's various apps. And I've listened to several of those as audiobooks, and I'm liking most of them. I'll talk about that more in my wrap-up. That doesn't matter for this vlog, but which might honestly will probably be up before this, because this is taking forever. Also, I'm really behind on uploading because my uploading software is not working, or my video like editing software. It's working to edit, but it will not export any of my videos, so I'm gonna have to go back to a different software that I used before, where I can't do picture-in-picture, which I know annoys a lot of people, but it is what it is, and I'm not making any money from this channel. This is just a hobby, so I'm not spending any money on this hobby. More than like buying books, which I would do anyways. So I hope that makes sense. Maybe someday if I ever get monetized, then I will actually put that money back into this channel. But until then, I don't plan on doing that. Just because it doesn't really make sense for my life. But that's neither here nor there. So I'm going to read a little bit more of this tonight. And, oh, the other thing that's different about this that I'm really liking is we're getting a lot more from Elena's point of view. So usually these books are very heavily, like, from the male point of view. Sometimes we'll get the female perspective, and it's all in third person. But it's, you know how, like, third person, it's, like, third person from a single POV. I hope that makes sense, and you know what I'm talking about. I know, I used to know what that was called in school, but I didn't study English or anything, so I have no idea what it's called. But I'm liking that we're getting a lot more from Elena's point of view, because I think it adds an interesting layer. Because all of these you sort of get to know both perspectives, but I am liking that it's more from Elena's point of view. The other thing that I, like, critique that I have of this series is it does use a lot of the romance tropes, but it's very, like, obvious that that's what it's doing. Like, it has the miscommunication trope, but the guys in the book club will be like, yeah, we read about this in this book, which I think is, like, funny, and I like that. But I think because of the perspective of this being from men who read romance novels, their perspective, I think it, like, almost goes too far into, like, the women can do no wrong, and the men, it's up to them to save their relationships, which I get is the point. Like, they're reading romance novels to better understand the women that they're with, so that they can, like, be the most ideal version of a partner that their woman would want, which is admirable. But I almost feel like at times it's like, no, she screwed up. I don't know why everyone is pressuring you to be the only one who apologizes here. And it's never that way. Like, they always both end up apologizing, and that's how they get back together. And so it's very healthy. But it's just odd. Like, I always think about, like, if things were swapped, how would I feel about it? Like, gender-wise or race-wise or whatever. And I feel like it would be weird if this was a group of girls trying to help their girlfriend get the guy back. And they were like, well, he did no wrong, even though he didn't let you finish what you were saying and just stormed out of the house. Or, like, he told you to, like, with the first book, the conflict is that the wife feels like her husband has left her, when in reality she told him to leave, and he did. So I feel like at that point she's not allowed to be mad or hold that over his head anymore. But everyone disagrees in the book. And obviously it works out because it's romance and they have HEAs. But I'm just saying that's something that I've noticed a little bit here. So I am planning on reading a bit more of this. And I will check in when it's finished. And then I got the last book as a physical copy, but I also just got a hold in for my library for the ebook. Or not ebook, for the audiobook of that. So that'll help me get through it faster. I go through waves of whether I'm listening to audiobooks or not. And I always read more when I listen to audiobooks. But sometimes I just, like, my brain is so full of other stuff that I can't focus on audiobooks when I try to listen to them. So that's why I go through waves with it. I've read a lot of audiobooks recently because I've been driving a lot. So from here to get to my fiance's parents' house, it's like a 6-hour drive. It took us 6.5 to get there on on Wednesday. But it only took us 5 hours and 45 minutes to get back. And I don't know if that's wind patterns or what. Because they say that, like, sometimes if the wind is going, that might just be for gas mileage. I don't know what I'm talking about. But it did take a lot less time, which was cool. It obviously also could have just been traffic, but I would have thought traffic would be worse on the Sunday after Thanksgiving because everyone is going home. But it was not bad. It was easy peasy. I don't remember why I said that. Oh, because I was listening to audiobooks. I didn't have any of these as audiobooks though, but I was listening to other audiobooks. And I'm gonna try to do a video once the, like, Goodreads nominees, like, the last round. I think that starts tomorrow. So I'm going to try to read as many more as I can of the nominees that I have on my list. And I'm going to prioritize ones that make it past the first round. And then I'm going to do sort of like my winners. Although I'm not interested in most books. That sounds bad. There's, like, historical fiction. There's only one book that I want to read. And then same for, I think, like, normal fiction. There was only one book that I wanted to read. There's a couple of mystery thrillers that I'm reading. I think there was only one romance that I was interested in, so there might have been two, but I read one. And there's some things that I've already read before this point. I feel like I'm rambling now, but I just wanted to let you know that that's what I'm doing, and I'll let you know when I have another update. We just got back from seeing Bones and All, the new Timothée Chalamet movie, and it's so good. If you haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend it. So it is a horror movie, and it's based on a book that I had never heard of, but it's like a horror drama romance movie, where you follow main character Marin, and she is they call them eaters, but it's about cannibalism, but it's like almost like she's a zombie. Like, she can't help that she wants to eat people, and then she has to sort of make her own way in the world, and then she meets Timothée Chalamet's character Lee, and it's, like, about them, and they, like, fall in love and stuff, but it's about their, like, struggles being cannibals. It was so good. Like, way better. Like, I knew it was gonna be a beautiful movie to watch because I'd seen the trailer, and the director is the same guy who did Call Me By Your Name, which is a beautiful movie to watch. And the 2018 Suspiria, he also did that movie, which those are two of my favorite movies. So this might be a favorite director of mine. I don't know. His name's Luca something that starts with a G, and I think he's Italian. It was so good. I, like, really loved it. And now I'm, like, kind of sad that I didn't read the book. But that's not the main point of this update. The point of this update is that I finished, finally, Isn't It Romantic? Which is Vlad the Russian and his wife Elena, their, like, second chance romance type thing. I really enjoyed this one. I gave it 4 stars. I think I'm gonna rank these at the end when I'm done with this project, which should be soon. Hopefully today, actually, because I'm almost finished with the other one, which is a different story that I'll get to in a second. But I really liked it. I thought that it's really interesting to see things from Vlad's point of view. Because he is such a, like, strong side character in the other books. I also really liked Elena, and I feel like this one, we got a lot more from the female perspective, and I will say that carries over into the 5th one as well. I don't think I got as much from we didn't get very much from Thea's perspective in the first book. I remember thinking that was kind of odd that it was mostly from her husband Gavin's perspective, and in the second book, I want to say it was like kind of even split, but it was more so Mac's perspective. So I wonder, it seems like as these go on, the author is more willing to like evenly split it between the two characters, which I appreciate. I always like a romance that has 2 points of view, because then you get, as the reader, get to see both sides. Although I will say there is something to be said for romances that are only 1 point of view, because then when the character is feeling anxious that the other character doesn't like them, or like doesn't love them, and they don't know the character's motive, the reader doesn't either, so we get a little bit of that anxiety as well, just because we're only reading their side. That makes sense, because that's how life is. Anyways, but yeah, I really liked it. And then I am like 70% of the way through A Very Merry Bromance, and I'm liking that one too. I don't like Colton that much as a character, but him and Gretchen for some reason really work together. And if you will recall, Gretchen was an ex-girlfriend of Max in the second book, I guess. So I think that's interesting. But this one is about a girl, Gretchen, who I haven't talked about it at all, but I started listening to it as an audiobook when it came in, because I was really worried about not finishing this project. So I literally just now finished Isn't It Romantic? And I'm already 70% of the way into this other book, because I've been listening to it kind of all week. So if that makes sense. You don't have to read these in any order. That's what I'm trying to say. And it didn't spoil anything, because I obviously knew that the characters were going to end up together anyways, so it didn't really matter. But this one is set at Christmas, as you might imagine, and Colton Wheeler is a country star who is like having a hard time with his record label and like inspiration for writing music. He's kind of got like a little bit of writer's block going on, so that's his like internal turmoil right now. And then Gretchen is an immigration attorney who is like all work, no play. She's kind of like a Scrooge character. It's another reverse Grumpy Sunshine, but she just really doesn't like Christmas, which is fine. I don't know. I don't really have that strong opinions about people who don't like Christmas. I think that's fine. But you also find out that her family is this like really wealthy, prominent family in Tennessee that owns a whiskey brand. And there's all sorts of like family trauma that she's dealing with from growing up the way that she grew up with her family. So that's like sort of their thing. And she is given a spot on the board of the foundation, the like charitable foundation that her family's company runs. And she's always wanted to be a part of the foundation, but her older brothers sort of like shoehorn her out of it. Except for now, they know that she knows Colton Wheeler, and they want Colton Wheeler to be the brand ambassador for their brand. So that's like the premise, the setup. That's why she and Colton are like communicating again. Shoot, I guess that's on the back, but they did like, they met at Mac and Liv's wedding and had like a one night stand type of situation. So that's where we're like coming from. And I'm really liking this one as well. I think because I'm listening to it, it's just like it's one of those books that's like really easy to listen to. Also, I feel like when I was reading these books physically, I was just getting so bogged down with having to read them over and over and over again, because they are very similar. So that's the only downside to this project so far, but I am having a good time still. So I'm hoping to finish that. I have an hour and a half left. I have 3 hours left of the audiobook, but I listened on 2 times speed, so I have an hour and a half of listening left. We are going to this place, King G's, I think is what it's called. If you live in Kansas City, it's a like deli with a cocktail bar attached to it. And I've never been, but it's my friend's birthday and she wants to go, so that's where we're going. And then I probably won't film while I'm there, because I don't like filming in front of other people. The only reason I filmed in the movie theater was because for a long time we were the only people in the theater. And then like right before the movie started, a couple came and sat in front of us, and a guy came and sat by himself behind us. So, yeah. But I will update you when I have another update, which will hopefully be tonight, and then I will be doing a ranking of all of these books. Hello. So I finished last night A Very Merry Bromance, and I gave this one 5 stars, just like the first one. I'm gonna do my ranking in a second, but this actually ended up being my favorite of the bunch. I didn't mean to match it, but this one is so cute. I really liked the way it wrapped up. I really liked the relationship that was developed in here. I really liked the whole plot of this one. I feel like the plot and the conflicts in the plots is what let the other ones down. And again, I gave them all 4 stars. I think got below 4 stars. So I liked all of these a lot. But my official / unofficial rating is this, or ranking, I guess. This is my first favorite, followed by the original, the Bromance Book Club. This one is the only one that actually made me cry, but I think I was just in a really emotional place when I was reading this, and I really enjoyed it. But these 3 are all my like just plain 4 stars, and honestly, I was trying to think of like an order to put them in that made sense. And I feel like I kept moving them up as I was moving them down. So I feel like realistically all of these are tied. But because Liv and Mac were my favorite couple, I put them in third place. And then I followed with Vlad and Elena's book because I really liked Vlad as a character, and I thought this one was really fun. They were both really fun perspectives to read from. And then this was my least favorite, I guess, but I really liked Alexis and Noah as well, and as like their relationship developed, and I liked that this was friends to lovers. I thought that was a very like, you could feel the pining and the tension more so than in any of the other ones I felt. So for that reason, I feel bad putting this as my least favorite because I don't think that's accurate. I think I felt pretty much the same about all three of these, but these were the two, for me, standouts of the whole series. So if you're going to read any of them, I recommend the first one, and then I recommend the last one. But I do think all of these are good, and if these are like tropes that you really, really like, I think you would like them, and they're all well written. They all have like decent smut, but they're all also like pretty much one sexy scene. This one, I think, had the most sexy scenes in it, which is another thing that I kind of enjoyed about it. I felt like we got to see the relationship develop. I will say the one thing that's like a negative about this book, and it's not even that much of a negative because it didn't bother me, but if this would bother you, that's why I'm mentioning it here, is the couple is Grumpy Sunshine, and they like, Gretchen doesn't want to be with Colton, or at least that's what she says, but I feel like that's never really like actually an issue. Like she always does want to be with him, really. So that might make it better for you, or it might make it worse for you, but that is something that I noticed, is the things she was saying and the things she was doing did not add up to me. Anyways, so that's the end of this vlog. I was gonna wrap it up last night before I left because I did finish this before we went to my friend's birthday party, but only just. So that's why I didn't wrap it up yesterday, but that's the end of this vlog. If you made it to this point, leave a Christmas tree emoji down below for A Very Merry Bromance and for the season. 'Tis the season for Christmas tree emojis. And if you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. You can also comment down below if you've read any of these and how you felt about them. And let me know if you have another favorite romance series that I should check out, or just a favorite romance book that I should check out, because I do want to read more romance. But that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.